For decades, the global supply chain operated as an invisible, hyper-efficient machine. Corporate architects built vast networks spanning the globe with a singular goal: drive the absolute cost of production as close to zero as possible. They achieved this through lean, just-in-time manufacturing. By systematically stripping away warehouse buffers and excess inventory, companies saved billions. But optimizing strictly for price created a brittle, linear system that fractured the moment it faced severe stress. This chart illustrates the bullwhip effect, a core operational breakdown. The bullwhip effect is a phenomenon where a tiny fluctuation in consumer demand at the retail level gets amplified and distorted as the purchasing signal travels upstream to raw material suppliers. We saw this execute in real time during the early 2020s. Shoppers bought a little extra household goods. Retail forecasting algorithms panicked and sent magnified signals upstream. Manufacturers ran continuous overtime shifts, churning out massive surpluses. When consumer buying normalized, companies were left bleeding capital to store mountains of obsolete inventory. Exogenous policy shocks violently compound these errors. Sweeping tariffs on intermediate goods, the raw materials and subassemblies required to build a final product, act as severe supply shocks. They simultaneously depress overall economic demand and drive up consumer prices, a damaging macroeconomic condition known as stagflation. This rapidly erodes the financial math behind chasing cheap overseas labor. The collapse of these hyper-globalized routes proves a hard reality. Cost efficiency without structural resilience leads directly to systemic failure. Rebuilding this network requires an entirely different kind of mathematics. To design a network that survives global shocks, architects must calculate the behavioral physics of the human and corporate actors involved. They rely heavily on transaction cost economics. This is an analytical framework that helps a firm determine whether it is cheaper to buy a specific component on the open market or to build it themselves by bringing production completely in-house. The deciding variable is often the threat of opportunism. In economics, opportunism is when a supplier actively uses deceit, cuts corners, or strategically withholds vital information to maximize their own profit at your expense. When a component is highly specialized and requires unique machinery, the risk of a supplier holding you hostage skyrockets. This diagram shows the Stackelberg game, a mathematical model where a dominant company moves first to set market parameters, forcing smaller suppliers to optimize behavior. By deploying precise agreements like revenue-sharing contracts, the leader ensures the supplier's financial interests align with the network's systemic efficiency. Corporations use these rigorous microeconomic frameworks to engineer trust. They build airtight cooperation into a global network of independent entities pursuing their own bottom lines. Zooming out to the global map, deep policy uncertainty, like sudden export bans or shifting trade agreements, is forcing multinational corporations to redraw their physical borders. Decades of offshoring to distant labor markets are being replaced by nearshoring. Nearshoring is the strategy of moving vital production nodes physically closer to the final consumer market, which cuts expensive, volatile ocean shipping fees and lowers the total cost of ownership. This geographic pivot often matures into friendshoring.
Friendshoring is the practice of deliberately routing critical material networks, like semiconductors and rare earth minerals, only through trusted geopolitical allies to prevent trade weaponization. But securing borders means nothing if the raw materials simply run out. The linear take, make, dispose industrial model structurally depletes finite resources. The solution is the circular economy, a regenerative economic model engineered to constantly recirculate post-consumer waste back into the active manufacturing process. Managing the reverse logistics of reclaiming used products from millions of individual consumers requires immense computational power. Artificial intelligence operates as the central nervous system of this loop, autonomously predicting hardware failures and commanding robotics to sort and disassemble towering electronic waste. Integrating AI-driven circularity and geopolitical friendshoring transforms the supply chain into a self-regenerating, armored strategic asset. We can observe this blueprint functioning in the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. It serves as an active prototype of state-led economic coordination. Instead of relying on a single hub, the state executes a strategy of deep cluster specialization. By tightly grouping similar industries together, they achieve intense economies of scale and powerful agglomeration effects. where companies become more productive simply by being located near each other. The region's immense automotive cluster heavily utilizes this automated precision. Right now, this network is executing a rapid structural transition toward mass-producing electric vehicles. This distributed approach applies across multiple sectors, deploying a localized human workforce to dominate specialized global markets, like textiles and ready-made garments. As multinational firms urgently diversify their supply lines away from concentrated geopolitical risks, a strategy known as China Plus One, Tamil Nadu is capturing those shifting investments. They are aggressively localizing the production of high-value electronics and semiconductor components. Tamil Nadu's deliberate cluster strategy provides a clear empirical lesson. Highly capable subnational governments can lower bureaucratic transaction costs for foreign investors, effectively pulling in and anchoring entire global value chains. None of that advanced manufacturing survives with world-class physical logistics infrastructure. Moving materials seamlessly across integrated ports prevents the information asymmetry and demand distortions that cause supply chains to fracture. Recognizing the systemic danger of overly centralized bottlenecks, the state implemented its Warehousing Policy 2026. This mandate pushes greenfield logistics parks, brand new facilities built from the ground up, deep into emerging Tier 2 cities to physically distribute the economic load. To offset massive construction costs, the government grants these developments tax exemptions. This incentivizes the construction of 24-meter-high mega warehouses tailored for cutting-edge robotic automation. They also prioritize decentralized, commodity-specific facilities, like advanced cold storage for agricultural output. These specific nodes operate as physical buffer capacity. They allow the broader network to absorb localized climate shocks, like severe flooding, without triggering a cascade of failures. These meticulously engineered networks are designed to absorb friction, ensuring the rhythmic flow of global trade, even under intense macroeconomic stress. Modern supply chain logistics is the physical manifestation of applied economic strategy, the ultimate geopolitical shield for a nation's survival.